session. Great. So just FYI, there are some NGOs who have tried this before, and you have joined. So some of you may not have tried this before. So we thought we'll put together like a 1 hour session where we can do like a follow along. We can do a follow along, and after we can try to get as far as we can. We definitely think it's possible to finish this in 1 hour, but some of you are new NGOs and you don't have access, so it may get a bit confusing. If you're not able to finish in 1 hour, what we can also do is we can add you to a WhatsApp group where we can continue the conversation. And so the access you have got to a demo account, it's valid for next 10 days. And upon request, we can increase it even further. But yeah, this is something that we have been so this is nothing new. This is getting started with using GPT in your flows.
Yes, he's on a call. He will do it after he finishes.
Cool. So with that, let's get started. You can please let me know if you can see my screen, and then I can go ahead. Sangeeta, my screen is visible?
Yeah. We can
Cool.
see your screen.
Okay, thank you. So let's get started. Just a quick announcement before we get started, though. I think those NGOs who are already using, those orgs who are already using Glific, we have made like a quick change to the payment policy. So we will now, from the month of May, we'll be sending an invoice on the 1st of every month, and you'll have about 15 days to make the payment. This change will take place starting from the 1st of May, and failure to pay for 2 consecutive months, we will lead. I mean, if we haven't received the payment for 2 consecutive months, then we will suspend the account, which means that the staff will not be able to access the bot, and the bot will not respond to any of your users. So this is just a quick announcement. Many of us NGOs definitely pay on time. But this is a new change we have made that we will pause if we don't find payment for the next 2 months. But yeah, you can always reach out to the Glific team, and if you have any questions or concerns, so post this call or later on, whenever you have concerns, we can sort that out.
One
Okay.
query, Tejas. One
Yeah.
query.
Yeah.
If we are having a quarterly subscription, then will it be the same for that also?
No, then it'll based on when the next quarter is going to start.
Thanks.
Yeah, but basically 15-day payment window.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Tanvi. So we'll quickly go ahead. So login, like the prerequisite is you should be logged into your Glific instance. We'll have some time to do it later. Those who are new, we hope you're able to log into the thing. If you have any questions, if you have any difficulty in logging in, just use the chat box. Sangeeta will respond to your questions. And if not, we can get back to it later. But Sangeeta, if you can also drop the credentials again, it'll be super helpful. And second thing is you should have knowledge base ready. So I think that's something that we already have. We'll quickly go ahead. So this is what the session is about. We'll understand basics of LLM, where we'll run through this really quickly. We'll understand what is the technology that we are going to use today, and the platform that's enabling it for us. Some pros and cons of that. Then we'll quickly get hands-on. Ideally, we would like to spend about 15-20 minutes to typing and trying it out ourselves. So 20 minutes, 25 minutes of doing time, and then we can have some question answers later. Most likely we'll not be able to finish. We may have some other question answers for which we can continue in WhatsApp groups and in the coming week. So we'll quickly go ahead. I think just the basic of I think the terminology, you must have heard a lot about large language models and LLM and AI, GPT, all those things. So very basic thing is LLM is nothing but an AI model, result of training a large number of text data in a you have a large number of text data and you have a certain algorithm, and that runs over the text data. That's what generates this language-based AI model. One of the examples is GPT, which is created by this company called OpenAI. There are other examples like Gemini, Llama. They are created by different companies, but basically these belong to a family of AI called large language model, which is purely text based. This example is showing a picture cat, but this is like an example only. Most of the text-based large language models are like which are trained on text data, and it is designed to simulate or emulate human-like text responses. Another terminology is generative AI or generation. Basically, it is giving an indication about what the technology is. It is nothing. It is just you can think of it as a program which is designed or which is created to generate the next text, next word based on what the previous words are. So that's why there are so it's nothing but it may not be, it's not factual, it's not most factual most of the times. It's supposed to be factual, but it may not be factual. It is probabilistic. So depending on how a statement, how a sentence is turning out to be, and what the data set has been given, it will try to predict what's the next best word in the sentence should be. That's what we mean by generation. So the way it works is it every time it is creating the response one word at a time, and it is predicting the next word based on what the sentence is saying. Quickly going ahead, another thing that you kind of would have heard a lot about is prompt. Basically, you can think about it as an input that you give to a model on which based on which it then generates an output. So similarly, like I said earlier, like if you give a detailed question, then you're bound to get detailed answer. Similarly, if you give a vague question, you're bound to get a vague answer. So it's basically like trying to predict what the next word in the given input should be based on what you have given. So again, this is basic terminology. We don't want to like do a lot of theory right now. And I'll just like pause on this slide for a minute. And a lot of conversation is on how to get your LLM, how to get an AI to respond to the to your organizational needs. You know, like we have Chat GPT, but if you ask it like latest information on, let's say, what's going on in social emotional learning, some of the activities that your organization does, maybe it will not know. Or if your organization is into pollution of like pollution mitigation action, and if you ask it the latest information, so then it will not behave the way you want it to. So in order to optimize the responses from LLM, there are two things you can vaguely think of. One is context optimization. That means what the model needs to know in order to respond to the query or to the query. And second is how the model should act. Suppose if you give it information, if you ask it a question on how to create a bomb, ideally it may have information, historically a lot of information, but it is not supposed to respond to that, because you are not an organization who wants to be associated with giving information on how to create bombs. So how the model needs to act is also another way of another thing you need to optimize. Like suppose if your organization works with a lot of young people, then you want to make sure that you don't give information, or you stop the questions, or you don't respond to questions that are mature content. So and in that case you need to put guardrails, and the model needs to act in a way that it cannot provide that information. So there are two, you can think of it as two axes. Let's not go deep into it, but these are the three techniques that we kind of adopt to make the LLM respond to the way your organization needs to or wants it to behave. So one is prompt engineering. Second is RAG. We'll get into that later. And the fourth is fine tuning. We'll not touch upon fine tuning. Fine tuning something most of us do not need with the way the models are evolving right now. But in today's session, we'll mostly be able to like touch on prompt engineering and RAG. Before I go ahead, like I'll quickly like to pause here, and if you have any questions, we can take like a couple of questions. If not, you can let me know in the chat box that no questions. Okay, RAG is something called as retrieval augmented generation. Naveen, you can basically I'll get into that later. I mean, like in the next bit. Yeah. Let me also know if I'm going too fast, but the idea is like we want to get through this so that we can get our hands, we can start prototyping with on your own instances. Cool. So we'll quickly go ahead. What we are going to do today is like combination of prompt engineering and RAG.
Why this
Uh,
dog
RA,
dancing so nicely?
may I ask, Sangeeta, can you mute? Yeah, cool. Okay, so we'll quickly. RAG is nothing but retrieval augmented generation. Like I think there is three words. Basically, retrieval is like you can think of like you can observe this flow chart for a minute. Like I'll not go too deep into it, but you can what we need to understand is we augment the knowledge of the LLM with your specific knowledge, and the model retrieves that information based on the query that you have given and generates a response. So you can think of it as giving your knowledge, giving like let's say the 5 documents you wanted to answer from, giving that to a program, and when you ask a question, what the program will then do is to just pick out, retrieve the passages from those documents and generate a response based on those documents. So basically, that's what it means. Like in simple words, it's a way for you to get an LLM model to answer specifically from your knowledge base. So that's a technique of doing that, retrieval augmented generation. Without complicating further, we'll be using this. This is being provided very nicely by organization by a platform called Jugalbandi. I'm sure some of you would have seen the video last year of a farmer interacting with a WhatsApp chatbot. This Jugalbandi is a service that has been made for NGOs to prototype, for public sector organizations to prototype and create small experiments. This is for free and it's been created by an organization called OpenAI. But we can talk about that later. If you have any questions, we can get into that. But basically, all we have to like what we'll be doing is we'll be using this platform called Jugalbandi, and all we have to worry about is what kind of knowledge we are supplying to the chatbot, to them, and then how we create different prompts, and then we'll see how the questions are being answered by the LLM. So this is essentially what we are going to do today. Before I go ahead, any questions so far?
So, are we using yeah, so are we using RAG of Jugalbandi to like? Can you explain more better?
Correct. So basically, Jugalbandi, we'll get into it later, but Jugalbandi is a platform that has provided us this technology with which we just have to upload the documents to them, and we can then use those like use let's say like an user URL in our Glyphic platform to then make sure that we are getting responses from from an AI on WhatsApp on based specifically from our documents.
Okay, so like the Glyphic did not have implemented the RAG part on this.
Yeah. No, so Jugalbandi has created this architecture where all we have to do is upload the documents, and then we can use their API endpoints to in Glyphic to then query information. This will get more clear as we go ahead. Cool. So let's yeah, Kalpesh.
At any point in today's session, will there be any training happening for the model? No training, right? We're just uploading a piece of document.
Yeah. So no training. We like I don't think. Yeah. So no training. We'll just be putting together a prototype, which will give the document to the RAG model, and then we'll question it, and we can change the prompt, and we'll see if it responds only from the knowledge base.
Okay,
That's
and
not
in case if like some of our content changes, and let's say there's a bunch of improvements in the document that I upload,
yeah.
does that happen automatically, or do we need to like upload it again?
Yeah, so with this present thing, we'll get into the pros and cons of it, but those long answers short, that doesn't happen right now. Okay.
Thank you.
So we'll quickly go ahead. I'll just give a brief on the use cases, or I can come back to it. But idea is like the major use cases right now are answering questions based on your custom knowledge base, like that's being used by most organizations. Then is processing of some text or voice input. So let's say you have you have a problem, like you have a AI which can then understand what is the input, and it can process it to create into a story or create into a different format. So things like that. And then personalizing information delivery. So based on, let's say, my age, my location, my gender, area, or preferences, if I'm given a topic, like I can create a specific personalized story for me, or personalized personalized nudge and send it to me. So yeah, I think Zeal is asking, can process voice input across languages. So right now, yes, I think it can process multiple Indian languages. Just that the translations and the processing is like very dictionary based. So it won't sound like a colloquial, like like how people speak with each other, but it'll be more like dictionary language, essentially. But yeah, it's possible. Yeah,
Got it.
yeah. Cool.
Um,
So yeah,
hey, Tajas, this is Lydian. I wanted to ask, I think you just talked about it, but I didn't get it well. So in
yeah.
this particular webinar, it's giving out information, but we can't have a demo or practice of the AI yet. Is that right?
We will get into that in the next segment.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
So so I'll just quickly share this story, and then we can keep the next 20 minutes for playing. I mean, I like trying it ourselves. So basically the story is of an organization called Sneha. Sneha works with young mothers. By young mothers, I mean who are like recently pregnant, or in the early ages of pregnancy, or who have just given childbirth. So they work with these people in rural Mumbai. So like a district near Mumbai, and they wanted to try out if they can have a chatbot whom these mothers who kind of live in urban settlements, they may not have a lot of information on how to take care of their babies, or what kind of vaccination to provide, what kind of nutrition to give them, or if they're in towards the late stages of the pregnancy, like like if they're experiencing some if they're experiencing some problems, or if they're experiencing some pain, things like that. Or so they wanted to create this chatbot, which these young mothers could then ask questions to, and the knowledge base they provided was the training that ASHA workers are given. ASHA workers are government frontline workers who go to different communities to ensure health of to ensure the health outcomes across various programs. So there is certain training which is given to ASHA workers regarding like training, like how to assist young mothers. So the same training material was fed into this knowledge as a knowledge base, and they did a pilot with 300 women over a month. And then most of the times we observed that about 1,000 questions were asked by these young women, young mothers, and like a quick snapshot of the rating is that about 50% of the questions were answered correctly, and they didn't rate 1,000 questions, so that's why you're seeing like less number of ratings. But this is the example that they picked up a sample and rated some of the responses. But yeah, like the pilot was eventually successful. The mothers could ask questions in voice as well as text, and the response based on what they asked questions, they got response in the same format. Well, if they asked in English, then they got response in English. If they asked in voice note, then they got response back in voice note. If they asked in English or typed Hindi, then they got in Hindi. So it's possible right now to get in this multiple languages, and it's been kind of like taken to the ground as well once. So this is a quick story, but it involves like a lot of, it just like involved couple of iterations. Iterations is to put together a prompt and put together a knowledge base, ask it multiple questions, collect the responses and rate it, and then understand how the thing is going, how the LLM is behaving. So this is essentially we are going to take the first step if some of you may have not. So right now we'll get into the hands-on thing of creating a simple chatbot for answering questions. from your orgs document. So I'll do a run through, but then hopefully all of us can do it in our own chatbots. All of us can do it in our own instances. But essentially, these are the steps involved. We'll go on to Jugalbandi platform. So let me know if you can see my entire screen, or are you still on the slides? If you can see my entire screen.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Can you see the Jugalbandi platform?
Yep.
Okay. So essentially, this is what it is. We'll go to Jugalbandi, and I'll quickly do a run through on what we have to do. So it's very simple. We go to this we go to this website, and we upload the knowledge base. The uploading our file. We can upload multiple files. It generates a UUID. And then we can quickly ask a question on this platform itself and see how it responds. And then we'll take the next step of connecting it, creating a glyphic flow out of this thing, and connecting it in Glific. And then how you can change some of the things, how you can play with the prompt, how you can change the models in Glific. And then we'll test it out on WhatsApp. So I may have to hurry through this, but then the slides are there, which we will share if you're not able to get through, and we can be connected on WhatsApp groups as well. But essentially, this is what the platform looks like. What we'll have to do, the first step is maybe I can just share the link so you all can get started, but don't get distracted. If you can follow the first few steps, it'll be super helpful for you. So we don't have to do any of these authentication, nothing. All we have to do is go to we'll see this thing called upload files. It's colored in green. So all we have to do is go here, press try it out, and you can see this add string item. So all you can do is like then select, choose a file, and you can choose a file from your like your local system. So you can upload a file just by just selecting the file. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to search for, okay, I'm searching in somewhere else. Okay, so I'm going to upload this thing called Pashu Sakhi policy document. And yeah, so I've uploaded it, and all you have to do is then execute. So you can actually upload multiple files, but right now we can get started with just uploading first file. Once you upload a file, okay, so here you're seeing an error because this is a document which has a lot of Hindi text. So you have to ideally find a file which has only English text. So that's a basic requirement. We have to have English text as a file. Let me see if I can find a file quickly. Okay. So I found another file. It's one of the files shared from Sneha team, which is like a PDF of guidelines for giving birth at home. So some this thing.
Teachers, there are
So
two questions that how can they upload a body of a text, and can the file have links and they upload it?
the file can have links. And how can I upload a body of text? So Smriti, the body of, I mean, you should have a text into like a .txt. I mean, you can save it as .txt file or .pdf file, and then upload the document over here.
Understood. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
So Tejas, what's an ideal document? What's in the document? Is it like organization profile or the content of the chatbot? What should be in the document?
An ideal document should have the knowledge that you want. Suppose you want to train a team member, right?
Yeah.
So how will you get so just giving it a lot of text information like, okay, now this is the program, this is what is part of the program, these are the stages of the program, or like if it's a knowledge. So basically, ideal document should have all the information in text format on what you want the bot to answer on.
So like
Tejas,
you're
let me try. let me
Yeah.
try.
Okay.
So the knowledge base basically refers what solution you are providing with the chatbot solution. Let's say you want to share the policy documents to the new joinees, right? So the knowledge base will be the policy documents from your HR team. Whenever
Mm-hmm.
somebody joins your organization and then ask questions about the policies, so
Mm-hmm.
the bot will retrieve the answers from this document and answer it to the user. So like everyone will have different requirement on this. So knowledge base can be different as per your use case, as per my use case, as per Tejas use case. So
All
how
right.
as much as information you can provide in the knowledge base, the user will get that much correct information.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Cool. So as you can see, it takes some time to kind of upload, but once you upload, you get this something called as UUID number. So this is an important number. You can copy this and save this in your. You can keep this with you. What we can do is like I'll quickly demonstrate what we are going to do now. So you can see like so this is where we uploaded the document, upload files, and then we have like this Q&A over document store. So here, these are all the various endpoints that we can use. Let's go with query with LangChain GPT custom prompt. So what this means is we are going to use GPT-4 as the model, and we'll add another custom prompt for it to guide the way the answer is going to be generated. So again, we'll just do a quick tryout. We'll say so query string is the question that we're going to ask. Prompt is a like a guiding document, like guiding like text on how we want it to answer. UUID is this then sorry, the UUID is the thing which we just uploaded over here. So this is the UUID. I'll copy this one from here. I'll paste it over here. Then we'll add, okay, let's just try this in answer in less than um, 3 sentences. I'll just make this as a prompt. I'll ask what is, uh, uh, just for example, and we'll execute this thing. So as you can see, like it has answered in just 3 sentences. And has given some information about pregnancy. I'll just quickly show like another example, like like how the prompt works. Answer in uh, answer as a comedian in 4 sentences. So again, what I'm saying is like this is prompt gives like a idea for your LM to answer this question in a certain tone, certain behavior, certain way. Again, this is just for trial and just to show you what all things you can do. Obviously, this is so again, so now as you saw, like so, earlier it was answering in a straight factual way. Now it's like, oh, pregnancy is that magical time when your wife eats pickles with ice cream and you suddenly discover that you sleep just fine. Again, so it's trying to answer as a comedian from whatever it thinks comedian is. Um, so yeah, so this is the way we can use. As you can see, like this is answering questions and based specifically in our. So what we can also do is do not answer if information is not contained in the document. And now we can ask like how to create a bomb. Ideally, it should not answer this question. We'll just do a quick prototype and we'll see if that works. But yeah, I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that. It answered that question, right? So the way you define the prompt kind of informs the way this thing. So now just for trial, I can also do uh, uh, like do not you can answer in 4 sentences, answer as a comedian, and it should give me an answer. But let's not try this. Like maybe if there's some other question we can ask, because since it is open this thing and we don't want to create uh, some flag somewhere saying someone is asking to create a bomb. But essentially this is what it is. Like we'll do the same thing. So we have a UUID, we have a prompt, and we're using this model. Just remember this for now. We'll do the similar experience in Glyphic. So essentially, uh, uh, what we can do is we have created a flow for you all, so you can download this and you can import it in your instances. What this flow does is it prompts the user, it gives them to ask a question, and what we do is essentially we use these two. Basically, we call a webhook. That means we call this endpoint of Jugalbandi platform, and we give it these parameters like, okay, use this UUID, use this prompt, and use this query which we have asked, and generate a response. And then we can do this thing. So now what I'll ask you guys to do is, if you can download, um, I'll share you the flow which you can import in your Glyphic accounts, and you can log into this flow and see if you can change this parameters. Uh,
Tejas, there are two questions on the chat window.
yeah. So if you keep the prompt empty, it shouldn't matter. It should be okay. So prompt is just a way for you to give guidelines on how you can get this to answer. Is there a limit on how long specific my prompt should be? It can be as long and descriptive as you want, but usually I think the each call is limited by 8K or 16K tokens, depending on which model you're using. So it doesn't usually cross that much tokens, but it has to be specific. But it can be pretty long. But we can get into the prompt discussion later. So right now, what I've done is I've shared you a flow. You can maybe download it, and then you can go to your Glyphic instance, go to the flows, and you can import flow. So you can import. I think it look something like this: level up _ RAG integration with Jugalbandi. So you can import it, and ideally the flow should get imported. Right now I've already imported it, so it's not coming in my this thing. Once you import it, you can go inside configure, and you can come here, and you can see these are the two. The flow is fairly straightforward. We are asking a question. We are storing the question as this name result. Then we are if it's a voice, if it's a text query, we are using this webhook. So what we need to do over here is we need to change this. We need to change this UUID to the latest, to the knowledge base, to the UUID that you have just created. So I'll just paste that UUID, and we add the prompt, and you do okay, because the prompt you can change. For now, everything else you can keep it the same. You can publish, and then you can preview in this thing. So ideally, I'll just ask what is pregnancy, and it should give me the same answer in 5 sentences. Yeah, so pregnancy period, I think it's given in slightly bigger way because there are 5 sentences. And then yeah, I can continue playing with this thing. So this is the demo. We have right now, the time is about 3:40. What we can do now is, like, we are here, like me and Sangeeta, we have shared you this all the resources, the Jugalbandi API page also, and the example flow. So if you can import it and if you can follow these steps, we will be here to help you out. But we have about 40 minutes, so you can try it out, upload your knowledge base, take the knowledge base, and if you want immediately over there, you can query and see how it's responding by changing the prompt. Or if you're feeling more comfortable, you can import the flow and change these parameters in the webhook and try it out in the preview. So that's that. We have the next 20 minutes for doing that. I'll pause, and if anyone has any questions, we can ask right now.
Yes, Tejas. Lilian is asking that do we have the AI link?
Lillian, like you can use this link to upload the documents. And yeah, let me know if you are able to, let me also share with you the slides so that you can follow along at your own pace.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Kalpesh.
Hey, Tejas, apart from putting down the UID in the JSON that we imported,
Yeah.
are there any other steps apart from that? Because I'm trying to do that and it's not returning me the right answer on the simulator.
Is it working in Jugalbandi though, like with the UUID and this thing?
Yeah.
So apart from UUID, you can change the prompt, maybe, but that's mostly like right now Jugalbandi, like UUID is the main source, which is like connecting your question to your documents.
Okay. Baki ka steps, can you tell what the other steps were? Do it there, do it on Jugalbandi, verify if it works or not. Come to Glyphic, import the JSON file, create the flow, add the UUID. What else are we doing?
Yeah, pretty much that. And you can publish the flow maybe just to make sure.
अच्छा publish नहीं किया मैंने. Okay, ठीक है.
Yeah. I've also given you like sharing access. If you want to share your screen, you can look at it.
I'm on a different device right now.
Oh, okay, fine. Insia, so what you're using right now, the model is we are using GPT models. We are using RAG architecture created by Jugalbandi, which makes it easier for us to stay rooted in your organization's context. There is other things you can do via Glyphic, which is like directly chat with GPT models without having the context, without having the conversation rooted in your knowledge base. So that's also possible. But yeah, right now the integrations are with OpenAI's GPT models only. Not yet with any other Llama or Gemini or any other models. Yeah. Yeah, Vishwa.
I uploaded the document on the Jugalbandi, but now
Okay.
when I'm trying prompt engineering, basically on that, query LangChain GPT-4 custom prompt, that
Yeah.
query string input box is somehow non-editable for me.
And there should be a button called try it out
Oh,
just
okay,
above
okay,
that.
okay. Ha, got it. Ha, thanks.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
problem, no problem. Yeah.
So Tejas, I have few questions. The
Yeah.
basic questions basically. So how many documents can we upload at Jugalbandi at a time?
I don't think I've ever reached a limit of uploading number of documents. We can upload as many as you want.
And what can be the maximum size of the document?
Again, not yet reached a limit. One time I had uploaded about 15 docs, and all of them were, like hard medical journals, like medical publications, almost like the stuff that people study to pass the medical exam. So I had uploaded a bunch of like 15, 20 of those, like, medical research papers also. So I have not yet reached a limit like of how much knowledge you can upload.
Actually, I'm having a need, like I'm having more than 150 documents
Okay.
for our complete fellowship program. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to create a LLM.
Yeah.
In that, when I reached around 50 documents uploaded,
Okay.
I just thought of let's try because it's a large number of document. If any document is giving error, like if anyone is having Hindi text or some other special things, then it basically failed.
Yeah.
It will give error.
Yeah.
So the same thing happened to me, and I reached to 50 documents, and I tried to check that. So I didn't understand which document is giving the error. So that was one difficulty. And
Yeah.
the maximum size I am not like sure, because if I'm merging all the 150 documents into a single document, or creating 10 documents to handle it better. So I'm not sure how much size they allow to upload the document. So that's my question one. Another one is like, as you tried Hindi written documents, it's not accepting, right?
Yeah.
So will it still answer in the language that the user will type the question?
Yeah. So the user response will be translated to English, and then they will query, and then the answer will be generated, and the generated answer will be then translated back to the original language. So this bit will happen, but right now we can't use Hindi or any other language documents. That's a concern. I mean, that's a issue across the orgs.
So if you can check on the maximum limit of the size, then I can start
It
working
will,
on the.
Naveen, maybe you will have to do a trial and error only. That's the only way. Like I don't think they will also know what's the maximum size or anything. Like it'll be mostly trial and error if possible. Like like just eliminate the documents that have Hindi content, because that creates error. And yeah, and then with that, maybe chunk, like like creating a merged PDF or merged .md of like one big merged MD that will markdown or a .txt file, that should work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
I have uploaded multiple like formats. PDF, I have uploaded Word documents. I uploaded, even I uploaded the PPTs. So it has answered on those. I'm just
yeah,
spelling out for others. Like they can use same documents as well. That's not
yeah,
like only PDF or text documents you can upload. You can upload multiple kind of documents.
yeah, that's true.
Okay, I'll see, and if I'm able to crack that, then I'll definitely revert in the group for other people information.
Yeah, thank you, Naveen. Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll go Smriti, and then Zeel. Smriti?
Yes, Tejas. Do you mind repeating where we have to enter the UUID in the flow? Sorry, I
In
missed
the
that.
No problem, no problem. So UUID. So Smriti, do you mind if I make you to share your screen?
Yeah,
Make you the
sure.
co-host, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I think you are the co-host.
Yes.
Maybe you can
Can
share
you
your
see my
screen.
screen?
Yeah. So for UUID, you can go inside the orange node. It's called webhook.
Yeah.
Call a webhook. Like so. Yeah. So basically, it's the two. So go to function body on next to HTTP headers. So yeah, on the top.
Next to,
But
sorry,
yeah.
HTTP head.
Yeah,
Oh,
next
this
to
one.
HTTP.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here you can add instead of the UUID, you can just paste your thing.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I got it. So this I have to do for both the orange boxes, right? The webhook box.
Yeah. Correct.
Okay,
Correct. Yeah.
got it. Thank you.
Excellent. Awesome. No problem. No problem. Yeah. Zeel?
I just wanted to know on the preview, how can I test for the voice bit?
I don't think it's possible to
It's
test
not
on
possible
the
on this.
preview on the voice bit, but I've just made you the co-host. Do you mind quickly sharing your screen? We can probably like show you which phone number you can test it on and what's your keyword, so that you can test it right now.
Share my laptop screen. I'm
Yeah,
logged in from the thing that was like the credentials that I got on the chat. I'm
no
from them.
problem. So do you mind sharing your screen? Like I've made you a co-host. I'll just quickly, I'll be able to explain you super fast.
Just 1 second. Yeah. Okay. Do I just take over? I
Yeah,
can.
just do takeover. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I think multiple people may be using the same flow. What you can do is you can get out of here. You can go to flows.
Okay.
Yeah, just go back to flows. Search for this LVLUP in the search bar. Yeah. Or maybe just or like some other, just like maybe search for level up, LEVL, that one.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So as you can see, like there are 3 buttons,
Yeah,
and you can do copy. Yeah.
got it.
And just like maybe copy of level up, and you can add your org name or something, give it a keyword. Maybe, yeah, just maybe give it like mine, without space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And just go to configure. Yeah. So essentially what we have done is we have created a copy of the same flow. Now you can just add your UUID in this one, and Sangeeta, maybe just if you have the phone number of this OBLF test one, we can just give her the phone number. So save that phone number, send it hi, and then you can send it this keyword to then kind of test it by yourself.
Okay, great.
Great, cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, Kalpesh?
Yeah. So I am using the Gupshup Sandbox wala 78348 wala number. And I made changes to the body. I put in the UID. For me, the breakdown is happening at jugalbandhu.answer. Whatever is being queried, वो उसको responding कर रहा है. And that's where it's falling apart. So
Can
whenever I
you?
ask it a
Yeah.
Yeah, so whenever I ask it a question,
Yeah.
basically it says generating best answer, la la la, at the rate results.jugalbati.answer. Like I see that
Got
as a
it.
response instead of the response.
Got it. Yeah. Do you mind sharing your screen, Kalpesh? We can quickly, we can just like go into troubleshooting.
I'm
It'll help. Oh
yeah,
yeah.
I'm
So
on a different screen right now.
see if you can go to webhook logs and see if in the latest calls, like what is there any error code or something that we are getting? But by the way, was it working on the Jugalbandi platform?
Yeah, it was working there.
So it's most likely like some of the like maybe the webhook body, like some comma or something, or probably like something is off. Maybe just check that once, like the parameters in
Okay.
the body.
Yeah, I know.
Meanwhile, those who are trying on the OBLF test one, Sangeeta has shared this number. So what you can do is save this number, send it a hi, and send it the keyword that you have created for your flow, and then the bot should start responding to you. And you can try out sending voice notes as well. Just a time check, folks. We have about like 7 minutes more. If you're okay to continue for like 5-10 minutes more, we can all. It'll be great if we can continue. But yeah, meanwhile, if anyone else made any further progress, is trying something, is stuck somewhere, happy to kind of like jump in and figure out what's going on. Z?
Vishwa has raised hand, Tejas.
Oh yeah, Vishwa? No, I think Vishwa
No, I think I forgot to lower my.
It's okay.
Tejas, I am unable to find the logs. I can see headers and body, but no logs नहीं दिख रहा है.
See next to flows, like on the left panel, there's a flows. Within that option, there will be webhook logs.
Got it.
Left panel.
Got it.
Tejas, I tried to send the name like proxy the keyboard, and it says bot does not exist on the WhatsApp number.
Okay. Can you share your screen?
Okay.
If you don't mind.
Yeah. I did publish it, I think. Yeah.
So just publish it for good measure. It's okay, you can publish. And now from your WhatsApp, you should send this message.
I should send which message?
Yeah, you should save this number in your phone
I saved the
and
number.
then send it. So start by sending it a hi.
Yeah, I did that.
Did you get any response?
Yeah, I got the long response. I'm the proxy bot. I can act as another bot on request.
Yeah.
Just one
And
command,
now,
proxy, and your bot name.
okay. And now try sending proxy and Maina Mahila maybe.
Okay. It's showing bot does not exist.
Can you go to chats like in the present screen you're at? Can you go to the chats?
They just that's the same for me when I'm trying to do that.
Oh, let me check the number.
Hello?
Okay. But is it so Zeel, can you try and preview with the text bit for now?
I did that. I tried that out.
Is that working fine?
Yeah, that's working fine. I wanted to try with the voice.
Voice now.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So this is a demo account. I think there's a certain limitations, I think. But we can try. I think we can join the WhatsApp group and we can try it out in like the next one day or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the WhatsApp group? Can you help me with that as well?
Yeah. We'll share you the WhatsApp group.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. But yeah,
They
so I
just
think
I got the error. It says it threw an exception. It's saying function clause error.
so
Client
maybe
server.
you want to see like the Jugalbandi spelling is there is something off in one of those parameters only, I feel.
Yeah. I feel so. But it like it was working on the simulator earlier, so I got to see what it feels like.
Okay,
Thanks.
cool. Okay. So I think, I mean, we're in the last 5 minutes. I think most of us have been able to try it. At least those who were kind of like unmuting and sharing. Just want to check in with other folks. Like, I think this was like a way to kind of like give a quick feel of it. Just like want to check in Richa, Arun, Tanmay, Satyam, Ishita. Um, any what's the progress? Like, were you able to try it out? Do you need more support? We'll wait for another.
They just so I tried it out. It's working fine. I also couldn't try out the text to voice or voice to text feature. But how do we add multiple languages here? Since this is with Jugalbandi, I'm assuming that is there.
So languages, multiple languages, as in like you want the bot
As
to
in, if
answer
I
in.
yeah, if I ask a question in, let's say, Hindi, will the bot be able to respond in Hindi?
Yeah, it should be. It should. Just try it out. It should.
I did try with English and it worked for me.
Yeah. So you don't have to do anything. You just have to ask it like questions in different languages. It should answer in the same language that you ask the question in. I've also shared like a link to the WhatsApp group where we have kind of like folks who like just for LLM experimentation, we have this group. So maybe like in the next week or so, if you have any specific questions and like if you need support, just put your questions, or like if you have done something interesting, put it over there. We can also kind of like, we can use that group for now. So I think most of us were able to try it, like just in interest of time and like respecting everyone's time. What I would like to quickly do is just quickly go ahead with the presentation that we had put together for you folks. And just wanted to ask you. So I mean, just quickly share like some of the things is like post to try out with the bot. Like there are certain things that you can do ahead, or like link it to a Google Sheet to record all the questions and answers and read the responses. This will kind of help you to figure out like how it is working for you. Like so inaccurate, relevant, but not accurate. Accurate responses. Sometimes the service fails also. It could be that, or like there are sometimes that the users will have unanticipated questions. So just rating all of that in a trial will then kind of help you to figure out like how's it working for me. Like I said earlier, there are some pros and cons, and the thing we have shared is only applicable for a certain like till a certain journey of your adoption. But yeah, what the pros are is you can do rapid trial and deployment. Like within half an hour, we were able to put together a bot. So that's pretty rapid. It has almost no cost for using the LLM bits. And it connects well with other platforms. So right now, the Jugalbandi team, they have made it available as an experimentation platform only. So if we try to make scale deployments using this webhook, then it will not work. Like it'll most likely be after a certain number of answers, it will per week or per month, it will not respond after that. So it has some limits, and since it is free service, so sometimes it shuts down. Sometimes it is not operating, and it happens at least like once in a month on over a weekend or so if they are like doing some maintenance work and things like that. So it does happen that it's not up all the time. So it is a con. It is not meant for skill deployment. It is just meant for experimenting, figuring out whether the chatbot can work for you. Quickly going. Okay, there are some questions. Yeah, but before I go ahead, we can answer the questions. Cool. So we can't right now. Yes, Arun. This is also one of the limitations that you can't ask a follow-up questions. It's mostly like one question, one answer, and then you have to just repeat that loop. So it's not like a conversation. It's like a loop of asking questions, getting an answer. But yeah, since we have some organizations who have done this and graduated from using this in a pilot, so we have developed some capabilities for it to remember what the previous question was answered based on that. But that is kind of like the next part of this for the developments that we have made. Maybe we'll release the deployment next month, and you'll probably get to know more about it. Okay. Is there a defined upper limit? Suchi, maybe can you expand on the question?
Yeah, no, you were talking about scale deployment, no? So is there like a upper limit to that, so that if we want to have a quick
Yeah.
POC?
Yeah. So I mean, so right now, the upper limit is in terms of like if multiple people ask it at the same time, like if hundreds of people are asking the questions at the same time, only then it will fail. So I mean, so far none of the NGO use cases that we have kind of taken up have kind of like reached that scale. So it works well for like, okay, if you have a pilot with up to like 100, 300, 500 users who are going to probably ask like 5, 10, 15, or like 10, 15, maybe 100 questions per day or per week, like that. That's the kind of scale it can easily handle, and that's what it's designed for. But more than that, if you're anticipating that we'll release it to entire Andhra Pradesh, where there are like maybe 30,000, 40,000 users, and if you release it all in one shot, let's say like if some minister shares about this, or like and if you release it to like through a mass media, in that case you can like it will happen that a bunch of people will come at the same time. In that case, it might fail. But if you think about it, like if you have like few hundred people using it throughout a week, then it should work fine. I hope I was able to answer your question. But like, there's no defined upper limit. All we know is that it can handle like up to tens, up to like like in the range of tens to hundreds calls per like at the same time. But if that goes beyond into the range of thousands, then it may not. But from our experience, no NGO has probably like reached that kind of volume yet, so that should be okay.
Right.
Is there a that's a Jugal and Zeal, like long story short, that's a Jugalbandi limitation, not Glific.
Got it.
So quickly going ahead, like this is like a like how we have worked over the last few months with some of the NGOs like Sneha being Udyam, being one of the other ones, and so a bunch of them. And what we have like this is what we have done so far. Like what we are seeing that people can start with proof of concept, like create a simple flow, get the responses from your knowledge base, see if your imagination actually matches the reality. Like whether it's making sense for you. Then try it with upload a few more documents, play around with the prompt, get your internal team members to ask questions. That way you can get to know, like, okay, what are the universe of questions that people will ask, in what fashion they ask questions, things like that. What the user experience. We have put together a very, very basic flow, which is like a simple imagined version of what we think a conversation could look like. But based on how you want the bot to be, like, you can vary the conversation. You can learn from the first trial with your team members. Record all the questions is what we are saying, so that we are able to kind of like rate them and understand. Based on this trial is where we can go to pilot. We usually recommend about 500 people. More than that is a bit too much, but less than that is what we say. And like responses have been fairly accurate so far. But record all the answers and, like, continuously rate it so that we're able to understand how it's performing. Based on all these learnings, then what we can come to is a reach of scaled pilot. The stage 4 is where Jugalbandi will not be able to help, and that's where we are developing something, or like figuring out what can be done to support NGOs who want to do scaled pilot. But only like 2 or 3 organizations are doing at this stage right now. Most of other like orgs are in this state, and this from step 1 to step 3 takes about like 2 to 3 months of time, 3 to 4 months of time, which is what we feel is also going pretty fast. So essentially, this is what the overall journey has been like for some of the NGOs, and it's a good way to go about it, instead of like making something and taking it to organization. I mean, to your ground without really testing and losing trust of your users. But so that's what we would say. And yeah, like there are some guide into writing good prompts. Now that you have done it, like there are you can take up some details, like this resource we have put together for writing good prompts. You can refer to it later. But yeah, this is generally this is the webinar. Probably had to like do it much faster than we anticipated. We're still over time, but just want to pause for a moment and like just ask this question: if any of you had any decent learning, any aha moment, whoever is left, if you can share anything, we'll be happy to then kind of record it and we can close it after that. Any aha moments, any wow moment, any takeaways from here?
Okay, I can maybe share. So when I also tried with the English with the chatbot, and the kind of response, the articulation was very well. So that was the aha moment for me.
Great. Thank you so much, Sushi. Yeah. Yeah. Zeen, maybe you want to share because you also tried something.
Actually, for me, it's the same case. The English part, the fact that I uploaded like an English document and the English was quite apt, that was the bigger aha moment for me as well. You're on mute, Tejas.
Oh, awesome. Cool. This sounds really good. I think similar aha moments I had when I first started. Just leaving the floor open for another minute if anyone else wants to chime in. Arun or Vishwa, Shita, Richa, if any of you want to also come in. Naveen.
Tejas. So the session was brush up for me. I was just having few questions that I think I need to explore and need to share with the community that I'll try to solve. Remaining the session was very good and nice. The audience was also very good. Thanks everyone.
Okay. Thank you, Naveen. Thank you, everyone. I think we have shared the WhatsApp group. So if you feel like joining and if you have any questions, you can feel free to use WhatsApp group, or also the NGO Discord support channel.
Like, can you
Just
forget
one
it?
request.
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, Suchi.
No, just one little request. I know you will be sharing the recording and everything post the workshop. So can you also share some of the case studies? I think somebody shared in the group previously.
Yeah,
Um,
sure. Yeah, we'll put
relevant-
together like the Sneha's case study and like a few other that we have so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Cool. Thank you so much. Then we'll close the session for this week. This one. Thank you all. Have a good
Thanks,
day.
everyone.
Yeah, happy prototyping. See you soon.